Top of the top, y'all. It's your boy Show tapping in again. Today I'm just gonna do a quick deal breakdown, let y'all know how I found the deal, what type of marketing channel, any problems we had with title, with the buyer, with the sellers, you know, all the juice of the deal. And hopefully y'all can pick up a gem from this story. We didn't make a killing on this deal, but there is something to be learned from how we actually landed this deal and got it under contract. So tune in, and like I said, hopefully y'all can take a gem away from this. All right, tap in, let's go. This deal came from a BANDIT sign out of all marketing channels. This is actually the one and only deal we've ever done from a BANDIT sign. We actually don't do BANDIT signs anymore at all. And the reason we don't do it is just because it's, for us, it's a lot of physical work as far as, you know, going out, placing the BANDIT signs, picking them back up, you know, things like that. When we rather just use the marketing channels that we have right now. Not to say that they don't work, because every marketing channel for wholesale can work and does work for somebody. You just need to choose what's best for you. I suggest you choose at least 2 marketing channels. That's what we did, and BANDIT Signs just isn't one of them. But when we first got started, we did order, I think, like 100 or 150 BANDIT signs. So we placed a lot of them, most of them in Dallas. But my partner was living in the Arlington-Fort Worth area, so we placed several in Fort Worth one day while we were out doing some driving for dollars. And actually, this BANDIT sign lasted for at least 4 or 5 months. So, so the story goes, me and my partner were together. We were having a meeting downtown Dallas. We got a call from a lady, and the BANDIT sign we placed happened to be directly across the street from the house she was looking to sell. We were not expecting that call because, like I said, we had placed those BANDIT signs like 4 or 5 months ago. We figured they had already been picked up by the city, you know, whatever the case may be. We were not even thinking about getting a deal from BANDIT signs. Thought that was long gone. But, you know, with everything else, consistency will pay off. So we put out a lot of BANDIT signs, and it ended up paying off one deal. So like I said, we had that BANDIT sign right across the street from where she lived. And actually it was right in front of a stop sign, and right above our BANDIT sign was another BANDIT sign that was tied to the stop sign. And the lady actually told us that she called those guys first, but they didn't pick up. She called us. I picked up on that first ring. Hey, how's it going? She told us, hey, look, I got this property that I inherited from my mom. No one's living here. It's vacant. It's in rough condition, and I'm ready to go ahead and get it sold ASAP. So me and my partner stopped everything we were doing with our meeting. I told her, hey, we can be there. You know, I asked her what she was looking for the property. She gave me, you know, a rough answer of what she thought she would be able to get for it. I knew at that price it was a deal. So we stopped everything immediately, told her, hey, we can be there in 30 minutes. We were in downtown Dallas. She was in Fort Worth. So about a 30-minute drive. Told her, hey, we can be there in 30 minutes. We're on the way right now. Let us take a look at the property. We can get this under contract and get this done for you quick. So the first lesson there, guys, always pick up the business phone when the money calls, all right? It could be a hot deal. It can be an immediate deal. And most of the time when people are, you know, looking to sell, when they're motivated to sell, when they're desperate to sell a property, if they're online looking, or, you know, however they source that information, if the first person doesn't pick up, they can simply just find another company and call them. And that's what they're going to do, because they don't know you. It's not personal. They just want to get the deal done. They just want to get the house sold. All right. So if you do any type of marketing that forces leads to call you, inbound marketing, which a BANDIT sign would be, you want to make sure you keep that phone on your hip and you answer those calls immediately, all right? If you happen to miss the call for whatever reason, call back as quick as possible, guys, because these deals can go right under your nose, just like it happened to the other guy with the other BANDIT sign, all right? So back to the story. So me and my partner packed up. We drove out to Fort Worth. The seller actually had a realtor friend there, but she knew they didn't want to list it on the market. She just had a realtor friend there to kind of oversee everything that she was doing, which was totally fine with us. We got there, walked the property, took some pictures like we always do. Property was in bad condition. Floor was kind of falling down. It was slanted. The roof was bad. I mean, just completely bad condition. She had no reason to keep it. Like I said, no one was living there. It was an inherited property. She didn't want to fix it up. She didn't want to be a landlord. She just wanted to completely get rid of it, which is the perfect ideal seller for us. So, you know, lucky for us, we picked up that call. And right there on the spot, like I said, she had told us what she wanted for the property. I think she said she wanted like $55,000. After walking it, we just kind of point out some of the problems with the property, and highlight some of the issues to try to get a lower price point. So from that 55, I ended up getting her down to 50,000. She signed on the spot. She signed the agreement on the spot. Her realtor friend was like, okay, that's a good deal. These seem like some good guys. We built some rapport, went back and forth with conversation, couple of jokes, whatever the case is, they felt comfortable doing business with us. She signed that agreement on the spot for 50,000. We were confident we could get it sold for 60, but there was a lot wrong with the house. So fast forward, and actually while we were there getting the agreement signed, another buyer pulled up who had just bought the lot right next door, and I actually knew this guy. But if we would not have been there at that specific time, he would have locked the house up because he was interested in buying the house as well. He just was unable to get a hold to the owner, to the seller. So like I said, timing is everything, guys. So we were there. We had already got her ink on the agreement. He ended up pulling up, talking to her, still kind of like making a deal to her. She stuck with us. She kept her loyalty. But yeah, guys, so we were at the right time at the right place. Always pick up those calls, guys. So anyway, we ended up, getting that agreement off to the title company, starting the title search process. Came back that there was actually a lien, an IRS lien on the property for about $34,000. She had city liens for about $1,800. And then there was also a tax lien for about $6,500. So she owed about $42,000 in liens, that were coming out of that $50,000 purchase price. So she only walked away with about $7 to $8 grand. But again, it wasn't her personal property. It was inherited. She was the executor of the estate. So she had complete control. She wanted to go ahead and get it done. She had no use for the property. So it wasn't really a problem. We didn't have any problems with the seller. She was on board with us the whole way. We kept really good communication. And even though it went from 50 to 8,000, she was still on board, guys. You never know what these sellers are willing to do, what they're willing to take when they are in distressed situations and they need these properties sold fast. So we were there to be a solution, to be problem solvers. And again, we had excellent communication with her. So everything flows smoothly. We did have a kind of a hiccup getting the IRS lien payoff. If you ever have to deal with a lien with the IRS, they take their sweet time. All right, they're not in a rush for you. They know whether you do it right now or in a month, they're gonna get their money if they have a lien on a property, because the property is either gonna get sold, purchase, or auction, whatever. They gonna get their money, so they ain't in a rush to accommodate you. So just know that, guys. We ended up finding a buyer who purchased a lot of properties in that exact area, in that Stop 6 area. And so I think he ended up offering us like $57,500. We did a lot of negotiations with a lot of people trying to get that $60,000. Nobody was going. This guy was ready at $57,500. So we ended up netting $7,500 on this deal, which is not a lot, but we, like I said, we learned a couple things from this deal. Always pick up when the money phone rings, and you want to be at the right place at the right time and act as quickly as possible, guys. Time kills all deals. Never forget that, all right? So you don't want to waste time. You want to act as quickly as possible on every lead that you have, all right? Remember, time kills all deals. The more you wait, the better your chances are of not locking in that deal, all right? So we ended up closing on that deal. Buyer didn't have any problems with the buyer. He was straightforward. He knew what he could do. He was happy at the price that we gave it to him. He could close quick. Like I said, he had other properties he was flipping in the area. So the seller and the buyer process was cool. A little bit of a hiccup with title just because of the IRS lien. And then we also had to get a survey. We usually do not get surveys on houses, only on land. But like I said, remember I said that the guy pulled up who had purchased the lot next door, and he wanted to talk with the seller because he wanted to buy the house, but also because he had got a survey on the land next door, and it showed that part of the house, the driveway, was actually supposed to be his land. And so we have to rectify that situation by getting a survey for the house, Turns out he was right. The driveway of the house was actually part of his land, and then like 5 feet to the right of the house was more of their land that they had fenced off and didn't know about. So it looks like maybe the city had just shifted it about 5 feet. And so we got that rectified, got the survey, communicated with the buyer next door who owned the land. And so we let our buyer know that, hey, part of the land on this house actually belongs to the lot next door. So we worked it out. Everybody communicated. Like I said, once again, good communication amongst all parties, kept the deal together. So even with part of the land being part of the property being belonging to the lot next door, it was not a problem. You know, we kept open communication, honesty amongst all parties. That's the best way to do business. So we always do good business. It always works out for us. And so, yeah, that was the deal, man. It worked out for us. We got this deal again, like I said, from a BANDIT Sign on the first call, immediately went out to the property. Negotiated the price down $5,000 based on the condition of the property, got it locked up same day, and then found a buyer in the area. And if I'm not mistaken, we may have found that buyer on PropStream. If you use PropStream, you can find buyers in the area simply by typing in the address, and it's a little bubble that says cash buyers. Literally, it's so easy, guys. You can click on that and it will show you people who have bought properties for cash in that radius, all right? And what we do is we just click on those properties. It usually will show first and last name or a business name. And what we do is we skip trace those people and simply call them and say, hey, are you still buying properties in this area? We have one at this address. Check it out. Would you be interested? All right. So yeah, that's how we were able to close that property, guys, and make $7,500, I think in about 20 to 30 days from contract to close. Got it done real quick, solved a couple problems for our buyer, solved problems for our seller, got that property out of her hair. She left us a great review on Google, and she let us know if she ever has any other properties to sell in the future from the inherited properties that she has within the family. She's definitely gonna call us. She's definitely gonna work with us. And so, you know, those are the props of doing good business, guys, all right? That's $7,500. That's another deal breakdown for y'all. Hope y'all were able to take something from this video. And until the next time, y'all, keep tapping in, keep working on yourself, man. Keep working in real estate. Even if you haven't got your first deal yet, just keep going. Be consistent, all right? Let's get this money.